Welcome back to another live stream, and tonight it's going to be exciting. Before we go too far, as usual, just want to make sure that the video and audio are doing fine. You can see the footage, you can hear my microphone, there's no echo, no distortion, everything works. Just make sure right from the start. While I wait for feedback, let's drink some coffee. Coffee first. I need my coffee for this stream. Let's wait for some feedback. Wow, you guys are getting wild on the chat already. My goodness. Just want to make sure everything is okay before I go on and on. Thanks, Vipagamuka. I saw that. Thanks, JTAG. All right, let's start. As usual, I'll say hi to people first. Thanks for coming in. I'll prioritize my responses to members first. If you are a member, your name is highlighted in green and there's a star badge next to your name. One of the perks of being a paying member is me responding to your chat first. All right? Don't worry, everyone. I'll get to every single chat, I promise. All right. JTAG says, good morning everyone, excited for this new pen coming personally. Hey JTAG, very good to see you. I'm really excited as well. Hey Andrew, I just called out with Andrew like a few days ago. We were at Kuala Lumpur Photography Festival, KLPF over the weekend. I saw him on Friday and Sunday, I believe. Very nice catch-up session. Very nice to see you again, Andrew. And thanks for joining the stream. I know that you have been very busy. You say that you may not be able to come into the streams on Thursday night. I'm perfectly okay with that. Thanks for being here. Tonight's going to be exciting. Andrew says, hello and good day to you, Robin and everyone. Hope everyone is having a great day. Let's dive in the OM's new pen. Yes. Let's dive into the new pen. Wolfie says, Abang Bobbin. Well, technically I'm older than you, right? So yeah, Abang is something that you call an elder brother. So yeah, that's right, that's right. Wolfie says, hey everyone, every shuttle snappers here. Very happy to have you here early, Wolfie. Nice to see you again. Let's see. Wolfie says, I got here just in time. Yes. Thanks for the feedback, JTAG. Appreciate that. Andrew says, so glad to be able to catch up on the stream after gym. Audio and video, all okay. It looks like this HDMI cable is doing fine. Yeah, I apologize for last week's mishap. Not last week, 2 weeks ago, the previous live stream. It was horrible. I ran out of backup HDMI cable. And yes, you're right, Andrew. I actually bought both new HDMI cables. I have 5 cables now. And a spare capture card. I did not even open the capture card, it's still sealed. I swapped the HDMI cable and it worked. I hope it worked. Everything looks fine. So far, everything looks good. So yeah, it's the HDMI cable. Uvi says, sorry, miss your chat. Last few live streams. No worries. No worries. Well, the last one was a disaster, so thankfully you were not there, Wolfie. Zach says, hello, looks like you solved the flickering. Yeah, it's the HDMI cable. People say, oh, it's the loose USB port. No, it's the power of the USB not maximized. You have to go into the BIOS and just, no, it's this and that. No, I'm like, guys, it's the HDMI cable. This is not the first time I'm doing this. Hey, Gregory, good to see you here. How are you, Gregory? All right, let's get to non-members chat. Hey, Jeff, very good to see you, Jeff. Jeff says, hey, Robin, everyone. Exciting times. Yes, very exciting. Swarovski's crystal ball. This is going to be my next camera. If everything goes well, if the price is right, I'm going to buy this camera as well. Jir says, good morning. Good morning, Jir. How are you? Bionic says, so happy to be here. Happy to see you here as well, Bionic. Moxie says, morning, hoping the OM3 price will drop with this camera so I can buy one at a good deal. Well, they're not the same though. OM3 is an OM, all right, with the, what do you call that? The hum at the top. There's this pen camera, so both are very different cameras. I don't see how this will drop, unless this is an OM3 successor, then it will affect the price of the OM3, like much like Pen F, right? There is no successor, so Pen F's price never dropped in the market. Jerry says, excited for this OM announcement. I really hope it's a feature price points that can be big hit and consistent earner for OM. Yes, I think OM needs success, and they need something that can bring in the sales, like desperately. Like this time they really need it, because if you guys have seen the latest market share, they are not doing very well. So yeah, they really need something that can sell really well. So hopefully this will be it, the wow product that we've been waiting for. Griffly Bear says, we Micro Four Thirds users need a win, definitely. That's what I was referring to earlier, right? We definitely need a win. I agree with you, Griffly Bear. I think OM system needs something that sells like a massive hit, right? To carry the not just the company, but also Micro Four Thirds format, and hopefully we will thrive in the future. Hey, Vapagamuka, good evening. Robin, good evening to you too. Nice to see you here. Kettlefish says, with JIP no longer holding a share in OM, I'll say there's reason to have hope that things change for the better. They already said they are looking to become more competitive. Hopefully that's true. They always say things, right? These corporate people, all these nice marketing slogans or, like promises. Things will get better, they'll do better, they'll change, blah, blah, blah. Only time will tell if they really change for the better. Thanks, Papa Gamoka, for the feedback. Griffy Bear, yes, good afternoon from the UK. Good afternoon to you. Jerry Hikari says, audio and video so far okay. Thank you for the update. Nice to see you here. Marquis says, did you solve the HDMI cable issue? Do you see any problems? Hey Amir, how are you? Amir is a friend that I usually do my street photography with. He's been very busy recently. Amir says, Hazy, Merdeka. Yes, Malaysia is celebrating its Independence Day on the 1st of August. That's like a few days from now. It's on Monday, right? So yeah, it's 4 days from now. So I put Merdeka. Merdeka means independent. So happy Independence Day to Malaysia. Merdeka, yeah. The great Vanzini says, coffee is brewing here. Good day, Robin. Very nice to see you here. Great Vanzini. Pickup says, excited for the new camera. Same, likewise. Thanks, Jeff, for the feedback. Really, really appreciate it. Let's get to a few more chats and then we'll start rolling with the topic. Uvi says, I did watch them all later. Oh, no. That was really bad. The last one was really, really bad. Andrew says, this HDMI cable must be premium. The video looks extra clear. The secret? Well, it's the exact same HDMI cable because the micro HDMI port on the technically all the OM system, Olympus cameras, they use micro HDMI. It is so tiny, so the plug that goes in is also very tiny. It's very fragile. No matter how you make it, it tends to break over time. I know this. That's why I have a lot of spare cables. I just run out of my backup cables. I did not realize that. So yeah, unfortunately. Okay, let's see. Andrew says, why do I get a strange feeling this new pen is gonna cost a bomb? I have no more liver to sell. Let's just wait and see. If it costs a bomb, I'm just gonna trash talk about it, right? I'm just gonna trash it and say, hey, OM, like what the hell? We've been waiting for this camera, like come on, the pricing is wrong, right? You guys know me, I will not hold back. I will say whatever that needs to be said. Zach says, given the fact that it's supposed to have an electronic viewfinder, I wonder if it's a Pen F Mark II. But from the design, we have the design of it already. It does not look like a Pen F. If you've seen, Pen F, everyone knows the design, right? It doesn't look like a Pen F at all. So yeah. Hey Jason. Jason is a friend. He's been, I think I've known him for more than 20 years. And he's been there at the beginning when I started my photography journey. He was the one that inspired me to pick up photography. So Jason says, 100,000 subscribers. Am I late for the official announcement? There is no official announcement, but yes, in the last live stream 2 weeks ago, we almost hit 100,000, and the day after last live stream, I hit 100,000 subscribers. I did not do any announcement, but I'll do a proper thank you video, which I'll publish soon in 1 or 2 weeks' time to talk about, it's been a long journey and the challenges that I face, all that stuff, right? I'll do a proper 100,000 video, but for now, let's focus on the new pen. But yeah, quick shout out to all of you, right? If you guys are not here, without you guys, there's no Robin Wong. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thanks for the support. Thanks for watching my videos. Thanks for the coffee. Thanks for being a member. Thanks for the contributions to my PayPal. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. So thank you so much. All right, let's see. Just a few more chats before we start. Andrew says, if this new pen is going to be a premium version, I'm crossing fingers for a new EPL, EPM. We'll just wait and see. Wolfie says, I just saw the rumor site on the new pen styling. It looks like they stuck with the most of the Pen F body but changed the top plate controls to the GS style EVF. Hopefully that means better on off. Alright. Jason says, this is not a bad camera, just bad pricing. How do you know the pricing? The camera is not even launched yet, Jason. Who says, don't worry, I enjoy your company life or not, good or bad stream. Oh, that's very kind of you. The horrors of micro HDMI cable is wear and tear, yeah. Who says, I can see that OM can do better with the new pen, but I can see all the bad things, shortcuts or laziness they can still do to make a mid-core camera. Well, let's give them a chance, right? We need a win, we need a win. Light BWK says, hello everyone. Hey Light BWK, nice to see you through a Wilderland. Say, hello from Florida, OM5 user here. Hey, nice to see you here. CMS Smart says, glad OM is making moves. Looks like a new pen could replace my OM5. I'm looking forward to seeing what we got. I'm very excited about this as well. You're not alone. Kumaran says, hi Robin, nice to see you after a long time. Long time! I was live like 2 weeks ago. I maintained quite a consistent timetable of going live, right? Enzio says, I'm not sleeping well because of this new camera. Wow, it can affect your sleep. Hey, that's really scary. PlayCup says, to be honest, there's no such thing as a bad camera, just bad pricing. Yeah, that's true, that's true. Cardissius says, good morning, Robin and Chad. It's been a while. Hope you are well. I'm doing alright. I'm doing alright. Looking forward to hearing about the new Pen F Mark II and OM1X. I wish. Jerry says, hi from sunny Finland. Hey Jerry, always very happy to have you here. Our local camera club is watching summer's best photo today. I have an hour. No worries, no worries. I'm just glad that you're here. If you need to go, just go, alright? I'm just very, very happy that you are here, and I'm very thankful for the support. Yes, Flip Up, Micro Four Thirds needs the win, to be honest. Alright, I'm gonna put a pause to the chat here. I'll get to everyone, don't worry, but we need to start the topic rolling. It's been 10 minutes, and let me drink some coffee and we'll talk about the new camera that's coming. I am actually surprised that this time we have quite a clear look of the camera in the teaser, because when I worked for Olympus, if you guys don't know, many years ago, I worked for Olympus Malaysia as an employee. I was the product manager. Back then, during the Olympus time, even when OM System took over OM Digital Solutions, they were very, very careful, and they never show anything. They control everything and try to cap everything in before the launch. They don't want any details, like any photograph or any of the specifications or information. Everything was kept secret very, very tightly. There was always a leak. We know that. That's why we see the photographs, the information, the specifications posted on rumor sites like 43 Rumors, right? That's what got us really excited. For whatever reason, they were very against the rumor site. They treat the rumor site like an enemy. And when there was a leak, I remember that time when I was an employee, there was an internal investigation. They interrogated every single person and made sure that there was no leak. I was like, wow, you know, I don't think the leak came from inside Olympus at that time. I believe the leak came from outside. I know the information came from inside anyway, but bear with me. I believe that, let's say half a year before a camera launch, the first party that the camera company, any camera company would contact would be the retailers. The people who sell the cameras, the camera shops. Why? Because they need to convince the retail people to buy the camera in advance. You can't just launch the camera and expect the camera shops to have the camera ready for pre-order or launch, right? Or to sell. So the retailers, or we call them the dealers, these shop people, they are the first person that the camera companies contact to tell them, to show them the new products. And from there, then they will plan ahead, okay, in 6 months, I need to make sure we have enough funds to buy this new camera from Sony, Canon, OM System, Panasonic, right? So I believe the first people who have this information, who leaked it very early, sometimes we have this information like months in advance. And these are the people that actually leaked the information, not the people from inside. I believe it's not from inside. And also not from the ambassadors or the content creators or the photographers that they work with. I always got early access during my time before Olympus. Before I worked for Olympus, I was involved with Olympus. When I worked with Olympus, I also know this, and even after I left Olympus, I was their ambassador for a time. I only got the camera, like, if I were to get a camera for testing, right, before launch, I only got it like 1 week, 2 weeks before launch. I'm not kidding. 1 to 2 weeks before launch. I only have it for a few days. I remember during my time as ambassador, someone got it like 3 months in advance. And that's because they want to make a commercial out of it, like the video to promote the new camera. And that time was the EM1X. So someone from Australia got it for like 3 months in advance. But everyone else, like even myself included, I was an ambassador back then, I got it like 1 week before the launch. You know, like, how am I going to leak the room? All the information are already out there. So I believe the leak came from the retailers. And boy, oh boy, look at this gorgeous look of the camera. This is the first time we have a look of a camera like weeks before the announcement, and it's directly from OM Systems teaser site. I think there was a video on the official site or something, right? It's directly from them. And you can actually see a lot of details on this camera alone, right? First, we know that it's a pan. They told it right from the start, pan, right, from the teaser. We know that already. It's a pan camera, and I've been praying and wishing and hoping, and you know, like, we were really hoping for a pan camera, and finally we have a pan camera from OM System. So this is a win already. You know, I've been talking about how I love the EPL7. It's still my favorite camera, and I'm sure a lot of people love the Pan F, the original Pan F. So finally we have a pan camera with a flat top rangefinder design, because a lot of people don't like the hum of the OMD cameras or the OM1, OM3 for whatever reason. A lot of people prefer the flat top. I don't know. Personally, I have no problem with the hum, EM1 Mark II or the OM1. I thought it looked fine, but many people prefer the flat top. And it seems like this new pan camera from OM System looks really small. I don't know the actual size yet. We don't know until it's actually launched and officially released, but I don't know what lens that is in front. It doesn't look like any existing lens, but it seems like the camera is quite small, which is another win, because I've been saying many times, enough with the big, large, heavy cameras, enough with the massive size. Like, you know, Micro Four Thirds is supposed to be small. The core fundamentals of what makes Micro Four Thirds great is making small, compact cameras that are really great, and they're packed with features, and they can deliver fantastic results. The keyword here is small, portable, compact, right? It seems like this camera, it may not be as small as, say, the GM1, for example, which is impossibly small. That will actually cause more problems. Although I personally love the GM series from Panasonic, and I don't mind if they come out with another GM series, right? But this doesn't look like it's very large. It seems like almost the same size as, I don't know, Pan F, or maybe like a EPL series camera, right? But maybe a bit larger than EPL. Seems like it's the continuation from the EP series, like EP1, EP2, EP3, EP5, and EP7. It seems like it's something like an EP7 successor from the looks at this angle. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying, based on my estimate or educated guess, it seems like it's from an EP7 design or the size of it, and that's not a bad thing, because it's still very small in form factor, very compact, and obviously you can change lens, right? And also the thing that we see from here, it has built-in electronic viewfinder. A lot of people say no viewfinder, no purchase, right? So viewfinder is there. I don't know if it's the latest panel or it's using the old panel from, say, for OM5 Mark II or OM3. We'll see when it's being launched, but there is a viewfinder panel. It's on the left side of the camera, which a lot of people prefer. I actually prefer it to be at the center, honestly. I prefer it to be at the exact same axis as the lens. It just feels more natural that way. But for whatever reasons, a lot of people prefer it to the side. So they listen, right? So they put the viewfinder to the side. And I also like that there are dual dials. Dual dials control, right? The front and back dial, you can see that clearly. And that's very important to me, because I prefer to use the DSLR controls. It's just so much more efficient to control the aperture and shutter speed and adjust the camera parameters on the go. And they maintain the PSM dial as well. I believe that's a PSM dial. It's just, I don't know. Everything that I like about the camera from the pen, they have it. Like, I wish the EPL7 has dual dials. This has dual dial. A lot of people wish that the pen cameras have electronic viewfinder, like EP7, right? It's a great camera, but a lot of people complain that it doesn't have a viewfinder. Now they put in a viewfinder. A lot of people want like a Pan F Mark II successor. This is not exactly a Pan F Mark II successor, but it seems like very close. It's a pan camera. So, you know, like it is a pan camera. And that fact alone makes me really excited and makes me very, very, very happy. And obviously there is a hot shoe out there for flash, for those of you who need to do flash photography. And an interesting fact that you can see on the camera, right? They remove the built-in flash. Most of the pan cameras have built-in flash. EPL7, what else? EP7, they all have built-in flash. The fact that they remove the built-in flash and replace it with the viewfinder makes it highly possible that the camera is weather sealed. Don't take my word for it. I'm wishing that this pen will be the first weather sealed pen. We don't have a weather sealed pen, right? Pen F was not weather sealed. EP7 was not weather sealed. So I'm hoping that this will be a weather sealed pen. Think of it this way. You have weather sealing, you have a rangefinder gorgeous design, a flat top, right? You have electronic viewfinder built in. Obviously, knowing OM Digital Solutions is going to have powerful 5-axis image stabilization and all these computational features, right? I'm guessing they're not going to remove anything. Live composite, focus stacking, high-res shot, live ND. I don't think they're going to remove any of these features like Pro Capture Mode, all this good stuff that they already have in like OM5 Mark II and most of them in OM3, OM1. They're going to put it in there. We don't know exactly what the internals are. If they're going to use the OM1, OM3's internals, or maybe an older sensor, older processor. We don't know that yet. But I think if they use the OM1's internals, the price is going to be quite scary. There's no way they're going to keep the price down. If they go for the other direction of not using the OM1's internals, like what I've commented in my OM3 video last year, I said that, hey, you know what, you can use older sensor, older processor, and you know, like we don't need the latest image sensor because the oldest image sensor it performs just as well. It gives same resolution, 20 megapixels, same dynamic range, same high ISO. Actually, it's even better if you look at photons to photos site where you can compare cameras, the high ISO and dynamic range performance. You can see that EM1 Mark II from 10 years ago, was it 10 years ago now? 2016, yeah. It's 10 years ago, it outperforms the latest OM1 in terms of dynamic range and high ISO performance. So, you know, there's no reason to go to the latest sensor. You don't get the best image quality anyway. The only thing you get is speed, right? You can shoot 120 frames per second, burst, that's insane. I don't need that. I don't shoot at 120 frames. Give me like 10 frames. I'm happy. You know, I don't need 120 frames. Just give me 10 frames. I'm perfectly happy with 10 or 15, you know, however fast you can do it. 10 frames is enough. Like, I'm not a sports shooter. I don't do bird in flight. And obviously, this camera is not designed for sports. You look at the form factor. It's not designed to shoot wildlife. Yes, and another point I must highlight is, finally, it is not a camera for wildlife. Like, look at it. You know, it does not look like a camera for wildlife. For that, I am so happy. So yeah, again, I don't know what the internals are, whether it's going to have the latest and greatest, or maybe they'll surprise us with a new image sensor. I don't know. We'll only know all these details during launch. But for now, what we do know is a rangefinder design camera from the Olympus Pen based on the heritage. It has flat top, it has electronic viewfinder, it has dual dials, possibly weather sealed, and all the good stuff that OM Digital Solutions is already known for. I think what comes down now is the price, right? If it's price similar to OM3 or close to OM3, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem, right? Because hey, these days at that price range, there's so many options out there. Fuji is a contender. You have Sony as well, some of the older generation full frame camera, the price has come down, so that can be a huge factor. Like, you can have all these bells and whistles, but people think, I can get a full frame camera for less. That's going to be a problem. So pricing will be a deciding factor of whether this camera is going to be successful or not. Either way, I'm very excited. I'm in contact with OM System Malaysia already. I really want to get my hands on one and try it myself, even if I can't get it during launch or before launch. I don't mind getting it like weeks after launch. You know, I'm sure they're gonna have demo units coming in. Do expect some videos from me soon. I already talked to OM System. They will pass a demo unit to me. May not be able to make it, you know, like during launch, like, you know, all this, and of course they have to prioritize the ambassadors or whatever. But yeah, I'm really excited. You know, like, I really want the camera, and yeah, I'm really I'm really excited to see what the camera can do. So yeah, what are your thoughts or what are your hopes to see in this camera? You know, it's coming. We know it's coming. I'm really excited. I really can't wait to get my hands on it. I have my wish list as well, but I want to hear what you guys think of this coming camera. I want to hear what you guys want to see happen in this new pan camera. Let me drink some coffee. I'll get to the chat. Okay, let's get to the chat. Woofy says, on a personal note, and my personal complaint to Panasonic and OM Digital Solutions, please stop making short market decisions. Oh, sorry. Customer anxious with no proper explanation. Short market decisions. I don't understand what short market decisions is. Sorry. Zach says, I hope in the future OM switches to HDMI like it's a full HDMI. Okay, this is a small camera. All right, so for this pen, I can forgive if they use micro HDMI, but for OM1, the large size camera body, yes, I think a full HDMI size port will be better, right? For OM1 or the flagship level cameras, I think a full HDMI size cable port will be amazing, yeah. But not for the pen though, I want it small, right? We need small cameras, we've been talking about this a lot, right? Woofy says, this comes from the fact that Panasonic discontinued 3 very popular and good lenses without saying why, and now they come out with their refresh, leaving us for weeks question what the fuck is going on. Okay. Well, I don't know what's happening with Panasonic, so I'm not qualified to comment on Panasonic. I don't know them well enough. It seems like, I don't know, I don't even know what they're doing with their cameras. Like the L10, like seriously, chonky. That's my comment. Chonky. I don't know. Like, remember there were some people out there that say, oh, there's no way to make small cameras anymore. Oh, these days the sensor and the processor and the battery size demands that the camera body to be large. It is the end of small cameras. We will never see small cameras anymore. And then we have this. Ta-da! Eat your words! Eat your words! Anyway, yeah, enough of those rants. It says, congratulations on your 100,000 subscribers, Robin. You deserve it. I can't wait to see your play button. According to the tracking, it's coming next Tuesday. So it's going to be another 5 days until I see the button. Yeah. Jason says it was a response to Plick Up comment. Dropping off. No worries, Jason. No worries. Yeah. Zach says, it looks very Sony-like. Really? Does Sony have like pen? No, I think we haven't seen the actual like what it looks like in the front yet, but I'm damn confident. I'm very confident that it's a pen. It looks like a pen. It doesn't look very far from what we see from EP7, EP5, or EPL cameras, or even Pan F. There are DNAs, similarities to those pen design. It is a pen, right? So they even mentioned it's pen on the teaser, right? So we know that's how it's going to look like. Movie says, hopefully this more clear and better look from the teaser because it might mean they are more transparent and clear with the customer than before. Hopefully they are. Hopefully they are. Andrew says, with Micro Four Thirds losing so much market share, a leak image is more than needed now. True. Something to bring hope, right? Something to bring hope, yeah. Inspire hope. Wolfie says, I'm pretty sure it's a digital render and not a product still. The lens looks to be a render because the only lens that fits that lens body shape from Olympus is the 1442 Mark II. Yeah, the old lens, right? Yeah. We'll see, but it's an official image though. It's official, even if it's a render or whatever, or something that's made from AI. Hopefully they don't use AI. But it's official teaser. It's an official scene it's a screenshot from the teaser, right? An official teaser released by OM Digital Solutions. So Ruby says, I have a feeling this is going to be a hybrid between EP7 and PanF or OM5 Mark II. The price is going to be extremely tricky or narrow between OM5 and EM10 Mark IV. All right. Well, if it has better internals than OM5, I'm just saying, right? Let's say it has OM1's internal and OM3's internal, that's not going to be the same price as OM5, right? It just doesn't make sense. You get what I mean? You just see what they're putting inside the camera, and we don't know yet. Andrew says, if Panasonic is going to come out with the GM3, I'll find another liver to sell. You can just grow another liver, right? Why not? Why not? Wolfie says, A sneaky suspicion is that the electronic viewfinder is the common 2.67. Okay, million dot, but best I could hope is 3.6 million dot. The back screen is fully floppy, but possible the one OM1 1.8 million dot. Yeah, I don't really care about the back screen at this point because even when I'm using my EPL7, which was like from more than 10 years ago, the screen was fine. I have no issue with the screen. In fact, that screen is better than a lot of newer screens from Fuji, Canon, Ricoh. I'm looking at you, Ricoh. Your screen sucks. My goodness, Ricoh's screen is so bad. The visibility under the sun is so bad. But when I use my EPL7, for example, or EM5 or EM1, maybe not EM5, the original one, that screen wasn't that great. The EM1 original screen, it's still perfectly fine today. No problem. Hey Chris, how are you? Chris says, hey Robin and all. So the new pen style camera, interesting. Whether it sells will be in the specs. Yeah, really excited to see what the specs are. I guess in a few days, we'll see the specs in the rumor site, right? That's what happens. 4-3 rumors, everyone checks the site every now and then. Woofy says, if it has weather sealing and subject detection, then I will buy it even if I had to make a loan. Yeah, but if it's using the new internals from OM1, OM3, for sure, subject detection is there, right? Human AI, bird detection, whatever. But if it's using the older one, the OM5 Mark II, the older sensor processor, I don't know if they can make it possible, right? Like I said, they can. I think they can, but I don't know if they can make it happen. We'll see, we'll see. It all depends on what the internals are, right? What they choose to put in the camera. It's been so many years since OM1 came out and the sensor and processor has to come down in bulk cost. They can't expect people to still pay $2,000 for much more for such old technology. Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be $2,000 because that's the OM3's price. I don't know. We'll see. Zach says if it has the full OM package, it's then definitely going to be a big hit. It has to be, right? Weather sealing, image stabilization, good styling, good build quality, all the good stuff in computational photography. He says, what I need for OM1 is the back screen quality and resolution and the subject detection. I need it and want it to be smaller form factor. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's going to be an expensive or more expensive than the Nikon ZF. It'll be But then Nikon, that's not fair. Nikon ZF has come down so much in price now. Like it's been so many years, right? I get smaller size and get lighter weight, but I can't pay more or less compared to a ZF. Understand. All right, let's get to the non-members chat. We are lagging behind quite far. Just want to catch up as much as I can. All right. Limbit Safe says, looks super cool. OM really isn't even in my sphere of interest. I always see the OM3 in my local shops window, but I feel so unmotivated by OM's options. Alright, hopefully this new pen option is, it will be enough to motivate you. We'll see. Irvin says, sitting here playing with my old EPL1. Wow, that's a classic. Looking forward to the new one, but I'll still treasure my new OM5 Mark II. Did you get the sandbeige version, the color? OM5 Mark II is a fine camera. Barnett says, does Lumix still do micro four thirds? The last I checked, they have not quit. Yumi says, hi everyone, exciting news. Hey Yumi, very nice to see you here. How are you? Marky says, if it's an OM3 in a pen-like package, I'm in. Hopefully it is. Enzel says, I had several cameras of different brands, of which only the OM remain. Okay. What makes you choose OM as your final remaining camera system? Kamuyat Maram says, good evening Robin, everyone. Good evening to you too. Nice topic tonight. OM finally made a move. Micro Four Thirds is not dead. Hopefully price is good for entry level. I don't think it's an entry level camera. It doesn't look like an entry-level camera because it has dual dials. Most entry-level cameras only has a single dial. Only time will tell, right? Maybe it is an entry-level. I will be really surprised to see that it's an entry-level camera. We'll see. Arrow says, I think the new pen will cost around 1,000 euros. It will be a great new camera for you, Robin, for street photography. Yeah, it does seem like a great camera for street, hey. And we've been talking about this, like, oh, come on, OM system. Please stop with the wildlife. Like, you know. And the evidence that proves street photography is a massive hit. Look at Fuji. Gained double the market share, right? And look at Ricoh. It surpassed OM system last year in market share. So what are both brands known for? Ricoh and Fuji. Street photography. So they need to do a street photography camera. we have a super chat. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the generosity, Gregory. Speaking of sending money, congratulations on 100,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for the generous support, Gregory. Really appreciate it. Wow, you have been always there and you've always been so supportive. And I've met you in person. You're such a wonderful guy, and I can't wait to meet you again in the future in whatever city or whatever situation. I really hope to see you again. Thank you so much for all the supports. Really, guys, thanks to everyone. Thanks for being here. You know, without you guys, I would not come to 100,000 subscribers. So wow, that's super generous of you. Thank you so much. The Great Vanzini says, so like an EP with an electronic viewfinder, I'm still interested. Yes, isn't it? Isn't that what the teaser is, right? It's like an EP camera, right? Like EP5, EP7, right? And with a built-in electronic viewfinder. I mean, that's what I see from this teaser. And it's an official teaser from OM System, right? Jeff says, well done on getting to 100,000 subscribers. Thank you so much, Jeff. I appreciate that. It's because of all of you, right? It's not me, because you guys are the ones hitting the subscribe button, not me. I'm just sharing my video. Without you guys watching, I'm basically nobody. I'm just ranting to myself. Randall says, I always wait until the official launch to see the actual photo and description of the camera. Congratulations on 100,000 subscribers. YouTube should mail that plaque. They are mailing it, and I will get it on next Tuesday, according to the delivery tracking. So thank you so much for the congratulations. And about the actual photo, it is an actual, well, it's not an actual photo, but it's official from OM System. Like, come on. It's as clear as it can be for now, right? As a teaser, right? So I understand what you're saying, but yes, we'll have to wait and see for the actual thing to come. The Great Vazini says this will be a very long 2 weeks. I guess everyone will be like going to the 43 rumor sites every day just to see what is being updated, right? Great Vazini says, will it be competing with the Sony A series? I have no idea what it is. Some people say it looks like an entry-level camera. Some people say it's gonna be like an OM3 price range. If it's gonna be OM3 $2,000 price range, that's obviously not gonna be an entry-level camera. So I have no idea what it'll be. Also depends on what internals they choose to put inside the camera, right? Enzel says, I bought my first Olympus 20 years ago to photograph my family. Over all these years, Olympus and later OM has always been with us. For me, it's more than just a camera. Yeah, you associate it with a lot of the memories that you've created and captured over the years with your Olympus camera, right? I understand why the brand means so much to you. Cuttlefish says, if it is a new kit lens, what are we hoping for? A weather sealed one. Aren't we? I'm sure it's going to be the range of like 12, 14 to like 30, 40, 50 range. Looking at the size, maybe it's 12 to 40, something there. But I'm hoping for a weather sealed one. I really want a weather sealed kit lens. Penny says, lens looks very much like the old lens that appeared on early pens. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Errol says 10 to 50. That will be a dream, right? PKF says, hope the electronic viewfinder resolution is high. I hope so too. It is the year 2026, right? I think we deserve higher resolution electronic viewfinder. It looks like, I know, right? Like, that's why I said it looks like a pen, the EP1, EP2, EP3, EP5, EP7, right? Those pen series, right? But with a viewfinder, because none of these old pen series have a viewfinder. UW says, the Pen F was the only Olympus Pen series camera to feature both an articulating display and electronic viewfinder. The camera shown in the latest teaser bears a strong resemblance to it, but it does not look like a Pen F to me. Design-wise, if you look at the design of the Pen F, I'm sure you can find an image if you don't have the camera yourself. It does not look like a Pen F. Yeah, it looks more like a EP5, EP3, right? We have another super chat. Oh my goodness, thank you so much, Randall, for the generosity. Randall says, Robin, what lens would you use on the new pen? 25 f1.8. If I'm doing street photography, well, this is the thing, right? If I were to buy the camera or any camera, I'm not just gonna shoot one thing. So if I'm gonna do portraits, it's gonna be the 45 1.8 or 75 1.8, right? If I'm gonna do street photography, it's gonna be 25 1.8. General purpose, maybe the Panasonic 12 to 32 kit lens. I don't know. I'm sure I'm gonna do macro with it as well if I have the camera. Some macro photography. You guys know that I do a lot of inside macro, right? And I'm gonna use my 60 f 2.8. But if it's purely for street street photography, which I think the camera is designed for. It looks like it's for street photography, right? Then it's gonna be 25 1.8. Yeah. Thanks so much for the super chat. Really appreciate the support, man. Really appreciate it. All right, gonna put this away. Irvin says, Wolfie, it looks like just one of the EPO. Okay, let me get to the members chat. JTech says, I'm betting it's a non-weather sealed slim rangefinder or M5. Okay, then it's going to be cheaper, right? It's going to be like more like entry level, lower level, below OM5. That's not a bad thing as well. We need a reasonably lower price camera, right, for the entry level for people to come in. I'll be interested to see that happen as well. Zach says, GPM1 uses an USB-C port. What is GPM1? It's just a new chip. I have no idea what GPM1 is. Sorry. Wolfie says, I'll buy a beer to open up and cheer for you on the live stream. You're going to show it to us. Aww. I don't drink though, Wolfie. I don't drink alcohol. So coffee, it has to be coffee. It has to be coffee. And I'll drink to that. Thanks for the thought though, Wolfie. But don't buy me a beer. I don't drink beer. Alright. Let's see. Wolfie says, I would love to get back to the macro filters for macro and light painting with the live composite, right? It's such a great feature. Gregor says, I hope it is affordable, technologically up to date, and not drowned in useless features. Another gas addict trophy might sing on digital solutions. I hope so too, and I agree with what you say there, Gregory. Very good suggestions. Wolfie says, nobody on the market currently offers electronic viewfinder under $1,000 US, and I hope a new pen can do that, but it's tricky financially for them. Yeah. If they were gonna offer it under $1,000 US, then it's not going to be the high resolution panel, right? Like, think about it. I don't think it's fair, right? So yeah, even the more expensive OM3, the higher price OM3, doesn't have a high resolution panel. So I don't think it makes sense for them to put in one, right? Wolfie says, I use the back screen 90% of the time for macro shooting, and 2 to 1 million dot on the Z6 being 8 years old is outstanding. It's still one of the best on the market. Are you sure the Z6 has 2.1 million dot? I thought the Z6 has 3.6, right? Because my Z5 has 3.6 something million dot electronic viewfinder. Maybe you're right. Because Z6 was the first mirrorless camera from Nikon, the full frame, the Z series, right? Are you sure? No, Z6 has 3.69 million dots, Wolfie. Not 2 point something, it's 3.69. Oh, are you talking about the back screen, not the electronic viewfinder? Ah, okay. Sorry. I got confused there. It's the back screen. Sorry. Okay. Gregory says, I'm ready to buy the GR4 when it comes out with the 40mm equivalent. I would love to shed my money to OM Digital Solutions instead. That's going to come by end of the year, right? They already announced the official development of the GR4 X with the 40mm equivalent lens. Wolfie says, for effing sakes, OM, you can't release a camera with no subject detection in 2026. Understand. Yeah, let's see. Hey Van, very nice to see you here. Yeah, new. Honestly, I don't know what I want in terms of features. Just happy that it's a new one coming out. Yeah, we should catch up soon, Van. We said that we're gonna do something in August, right? Remember with Jojo? We said we're gonna do something. We haven't planned it, and August is basically over already. We have to do something soon, Van. I know you're busy, but let's plan something up. Wolfie says, even Nikon fell down the market share and lost it to Ricoh, Fuji, and Canon. That's because Nikon doesn't have a new camera last year, if I'm not wrong. Right, so no new camera, no sales, right? And last year Fuji has like 50 cameras. They have so many cameras launched last year, my goodness. So yeah, that contributed to the increase of the market share. Andrew says, talking about Fuji, I just got myself an old X100S. Wow, by accident. I don't want to miss out on the bargain. Congratulations. I don't have the S. I had the original X100 before. I have the X100F for about a year. X100 original for about 2 to 3 years, X100F for about a year. I never had the X100S, but I've reviewed it on my blog. That time I have no YouTube yet, so I have a review of the X100S before. Gregory says, how can you tell if it's built for wildlife photography? My dad shot a safari in Kenya with Yashica GN1. Good point. Totally understand, Gregory. Wolfie says, I don't think it's a real product photo because OM would not have left the hum above EVF completely empty. They will put some branding there for sure. That's why I think it's a render. No. if it's a teaser, that is, even if it's a render, that's finalized. Because it's an actual teaser, officially from OM. They don't do things half-assed. I know because I worked for Olympus before. That much I am very, very, very sure. Andrew says, the next live stream, we will definitely see the silver YouTube flag. Ah, you mean at the wall at the back right now. I'm just gonna keep it, hide it somewhere. I will show it, but I'll hide it somewhere. I will not hang it behind. I mean, I don't know. I'm not one of those YouTubers. Let me catch up on the non-members chat. We are a little bit behind. I'll do my best. Buddy Hawk says, agree, lens look like the old kit lens, and render looks like a buck up EPL10 with viewfinder and extra dial. Yeah. Vanzini says, I have my wallet out, but will wait until I see the specifications and price. Maybe a few good reviews. Yes, I think it all comes down to the internals and the pricing, right? Those will be the deciding factors. Penny says, electronic viewfinder, you can just make out the back screen flips out 360 instead only flat or just tilting. Okay. Prosty says, if it's weather sealed, it will be perfect. I know, right? I'm so rooting for it to be weather sealed. Greg Vanzini says, didn't the Pen F come with a little external flash? Yes, the FLM2 flash, right? That's the, I've talked about how that's like the perfect genius idea from Olympus. I think that flash is just super amazing. Yeah. PFK says, maybe use OM1 Mark 1 internals. Well, we'll see. That's what, well, I don't know. OM3 doesn't use the Mark 1 internal. OM3 just uses the Mark 2 internals. So Penny says, odds on closer to OM5 Mark 2 to hit their price point. Hopefully. I mean, if it's too expensive, then nobody's going to buy the camera. Then that's not going to help the market situation, right? I think they need a win. They need a massive hit, and they need a lot of people to buy the camera. So if they price it too high, then that's going to affect the sales as well. CMS Smart says, I like an onboard flash, but it's good to trade off and it gets all the weather sealing and computational features. Hopefully FLM3 flash will work with it. Hey, FLM3, was it FLM3? Shit, I forgot the number already. Anyway, I'm okay with it not having an internal flash because I don't know if you have this is a book by Scott Kelby, something about beginners to flash. In his foreword, or the opening of the book, he said that camera manufacturers intentionally put in the built-in flash so that when you use it, you'll hate it so much, you'll buy an external flash. To me, basically, the internal flash is useless. I'm not going to use it. If I were to use flash, I would just put in an external flash, yeah, to do the proper bounce and diffusing setup. CIS Chischo, I don't know how to pronounce the name, sorry. New sensor on a non-flagship? I don't think so. Yeah, that's not gonna be not likely, right? It'll be great to have a few more megapixels. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Ollie Hansen says, less rolling shutter when electronic shutter is used would be maybe a selling point. Have you used the EM1 Mark II from 10 years ago? If you have, what is your experience with the rolling shutter? Because I can safely say this, EM1 Mark II is my main camera, and I do use the silent shutter a lot, electronic shutter. I don't see rolling shutter at all. Do you see it? And we're talking about a camera from 10 years ago. If that is true, then I don't think rolling shutter was never a problem to begin with for Olympus or OM system cameras, right? Have you seen any rolling shutter problem with the EM1 Mark II? Yeah. CMS Smart says, I think they dabbled with moving to street travel adventure of the OM3, and the demand for that helped with the making of this new pen a viable option. Not much demand. The sales was miserable. OM system was at the last spot of the camera market share, falling behind Ricoh. Ricoh GR sells more than all the OM system cameras, OM1, OM3, OM5, all put together, including OM3. And I don't remember, a few live streams back, someone said OM1 was the best-selling camera ever, right? Like OM1 was selling like 2 million units or something. Yeah, that information was bogus. Because the total shares of all the cameras last year for OM system was only 150,000 units. 150,000, everything included, OM3, OM5 Mark II, OM5, OM1, OM1 Mark II, everything, 150,000 units. So yeah, I won't buy if it's $2,000. Yeah, that's a bit higher, right? That's OM3's territory. Marcus says, as long as it's cheaper than L10. Oh my goodness, yeah, the L10 is like, for that price, you wish that it has weather sealing and 5-axis image stabilization, right? Like, come on, these are the basics. These are the basics, right? Venta Black says, great pen with modern autofocus, but it needs to be under 1,000 US dollars. Hopefully it is. The Great Vanzini says, even 1,500 US dollars would be a tough choice. Yeah, understand. Nick says, face detection autofocus, weather sealing, CP button, creative dial, upgraded weather sealing, 800 US dollars. Yeah. We'll see. If that's the case, then I think it'll just fly off the shelves, right? It'll just completely fly off the shelves. Yeah. PKF says, if weather sealed or in 5 specs, it will sell very well. Hopefully it is. Hard to interpret Panasonic's move. The Great Vanzini says, yeah, I don't know what they are doing, man. I don't know what they are doing. Kadir says, I see 2 possibilities here. A reintroduction to Pan series by providing more of a base model that is cost effective to improve market share, with the idea of coming out with the Pan F2 in 2027. We'll see what happens. Well, this is technically the first Pan camera from OM Digital Solutions, right? So being the first, I think there are a lot of high expectations and a lot of eyeballs looking at this camera. So yeah. Okay, let's look at members chat. I'll come back to non-members. Let's go to members chat. Let's see, where are we? We are at Woofy. I don't drink alcohol either. I have been sober for 18 years now and going to keep that, an alcohol-free beer with lemon flavor. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it's good for you. 18 years sober. That's something to celebrate, Wolfie. That's why I think it's around 1,000 US dollars. Then it will be an old 2.3 million dot, but it's around $1,200 or above. Then they might put it a better 3.6 million dot electronic viewfinder. All right, we'll see the price. We don't know what the price is at the moment. OM will be literally the only brand on the market to release a new camera without subject detection. They should feel ashamed for that if they do. I know, right? It's 2026. Come on. Yeah, yes, I was talking about the back screen. Sorry about that. I was among the highest resolution to this day. It's so sharp sometimes I don't even need to punch in zoom with the macro. Understand. Movie says, the most useful internal flash I've seen and experienced are the flexible Panasonic GX, because you can bounce it off the ceiling and actually can give you a decent quality images indoor for people. Okay. It is not as useful as large venues, but I don't recommend doing events or weddings with that. But at home, you have the ceiling 2.5 to 4 meters. It works remarkably well. Okay, if you do use flash, but I'll still recommend using external flash if you want to. Gregory says the success of the GR4 tells everyone where the market is. I want the GR4. Hopefully, OM Digital Solutions has read the tea leaves. Yeah, I know, right? Come on, look at Fuji, look at Ricoh. They are doing so well in the market, and if you don't follow the trend, you're just missing out. And it's not like they don't have it. And it seems like it. My prediction could be right. It seems like they finally figure it out. They have all the components, right? They have the look, the pen look, the rangefinder look, that electronic viewfinder. They have 5-axis image stabilization. They have weather sealing. I mean, come on. OM Digital Solutions, they are known to make very good weather sealed cameras, right? So if they just put all these components together and make a small camera, it will sell. It will be a hit. Come on, man. Like, seriously. Wolfie says, as for the price, everyone should be very aware that the AI data center craze bubble is coming for the camera affordability really hard now. It's going to make entry-level cameras even more expensive than it was. Definitely. Wolfie says, in early 2000, before APS-C camera, come on. Andrew says, I hope OM doesn't pull a stunt by introducing a new pen, but comes out as a Pentax. Man, that's funny, man. That's funny. Alright, let's get to the non-members chat. I'm way behind. Hey Santix, how are you? Good to see you. Yeah, I saw Santix at KLPF as well. Santix, hello Robin, hope you are doing well despite the thick haze. I thought it's alright, it's not too bad. Santix says, nice seeing you in KLPF. Yes, always nice to catch up with fellow friends. Yeah, Tommy says, weather sealed with OM prime lens, perfect travel camera. I know, right? Not just a straight photography camera, but it's just going to be a perfect travel camera as well. Smaller than like the A6400, hopefully. Well, it's like any of the pen cameras that we had before, right? EP3, EP5, EP7, the size of those cameras, I hope is about the same size, right? Dan says, hi Robin, hey Dan, nice to see you here. How are you? Ollie Hansen says they should make something that the Fuji guy would buy. They compete in this size. Yeah, that's true. Sunny says, I would or might go to Putrajaya to snap photos of the National Day Parade. Yeah, Merdeka, man, go and get some shots. I wish I can go, man. Like, I really want to go, but I'll be busy for the next few days. I have a few shoots, a few jobs, which also means I have money coming in, which is very important. I'm a working photographer. So yeah, I unfortunately have to miss this year's Merdeka. Optics says, I hope the pen has good video features. Nothing crazy, just good codecs. I wish Olympus would just copy Lumix software. They can't, right? If they do that, then Panasonic will go after them with lawsuits. Sunny says, oh yeah, this new upcoming pen from OM System seems promising. Hopefully it is really good. Yeah, I hope it is. I hope it is. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Santi says, I hope they make the electronic viewfinder decent enough with high-res 120 frames. All the electronic viewfinder from OM Digital Solutions and Olympus has been 120 frames per second. Do you realize that? It has always been 120 frames per second. You can search back EM1 Mark II, EM1X, OM1, OM Mark II, the electronic viewfinder is 120 frames per second. High res, we have the 5-point-something million dots from OM1 already, OM1, OM Mark II. So I don't know what kind of viewfinder they're going to put into the new camera. But yeah, it has never been less than maybe the original EM5 or the first EM10. But after that, all the cameras from Olympus has always been 120 frames per second. Yeah. Sunny says, with good video specs and microphone port for vlogging. Yeah, they had better learn, right? They better learn from the past mistakes. Renzo says, love my EM10 Mark IV, and amazing coming from a DSLR. Want to see one of these pen in action. Not common in my country to see other brands apart from Sony, Canon, and Nikon. I understand. Really excited to see what they come up with this new pen. Yeah, same here. Sunny says will be 20 megapixels, throughput 9, sub $500 camera with weather sealing, basically a trickle down from OM5. All right, but then again, if it's weather sealed, 20 megapixels with a throughput 9. If it's a pen, I think it might be even more exciting than the OM5, if you ask me, right? Because we don't know what the material they use for the camera. If it's metal, if it's a metal construction, it's already a win. It's already better than OM5 because OM5 is plastic, right? So yeah, we'll see, because we don't know yet. Yeah. This 2000 says the third wheel on the back suggests a Pen F Mark II. No. There are only two wheels. I don't see a third wheel. Where's the third wheel? There's a PASM dial. There's the front wheel and the back wheel, right? So there are only two command dials. I don't see a third command dial there. Yeah. Sunny says, I hope it has a color wheel knob and not being sharp. Looks like a PL9 grip in the front. Yeah. Is there a front already? I don't see a front image. I only see this side image. The front was like completely a silhouette, right? We don't see anything. It will cater for street photography crowd. It will be a mid-range camera that will be right under the OM5. We'll see. Yeah. Thank you so much, Bocat. Congratulations on the 100,000 subscribers. Thanks to you guys for subscribing. Yeah. Sunny says something of EP09, EP7 with electronic viewfinder. Yeah, it does look like an EP7, right? It does look like it, but then technically we don't have an EP7 in Malaysia and most parts of the world. For whatever reasons, Olympus, OM System, they didn't plan or they didn't want to sell the EP7 for the rest of the world. So technically it's not really an EP7. Sunny says, yes, indeed, very exciting, hopefully in 2 weeks. Bocat says, the picture looks like a Panasonic GS8 from the top. Not really. It looks like an old Olympus pen, EP5 or EP7. If you look at the EP7, it looks more like an Olympus camera. Yeah. Juan says, do you think the pen camera will also have the color dial? Very hard to say. Maybe they want to make it exclusive for the OM3 for product differentiation. So to me, that's not like a main thing. I don't mind if they don't have it. Yeah. Tom says, I wonder whether it'll have similar internals to the OM5 Mark II, assuming computational modes, though I can't see a dedicated button for this on the teaser. Yeah. We'll see. Only time will tell, right? Knowledge says, hi Robin, hey, how are you? Just wanted to share some love all the way from Montenegro for the guy who taught me everything I know about photography. Oh, that's very, very kind of you. Thank you so much for saying that, and I'm glad that you are here. Thank you so much. All right, Sunny says, whether still kit lens sounds like a good idea. Hopefully something like a 1250, but I hope it can be slightly wider, like 10 something. But making something so wide as a kit lens will have a lot of compromise. I don't think the compromise will be wise. Yeah, 25 1.8 is my favorite general purpose prime lens. Same. I love it as well. Camera looks so thin to support the BLX1 battery, probably same BLX50 battery from the Pan series. And then some people say, oh, but the new cameras cannot be small because it needs a large battery, right? I wonder who said that. Oh my goodness. This side towards screen says, I hope this Pan camera meets the expectations of the Micro Four Thirds community. The L10 had a good start then. Some people sort of got turned off later, rooting for the OM system to get it right. Nah, L10 got everything wrong in that camera. They got nothing right in that camera. Sunday says, didn't know you don't drink alcohol. No, I don't drink. I don't think you've seen me drink any of my vlogs. I mean, the second channel. Yeah, I don't drink. Yeah, I think it's a personal choice, nothing to do with religion or anything, or I'm not allergic, or I don't have health problems or anything. I'm perfectly healthy as far as I can remember. But it's a choice because I've seen bad things happen to people who drink firsthand, a lot of traumatic events. So it's just a personal choice, a decision not to drink. Yeah, so I don't drink alcohol. Yeah. Penny Stream says, replacement for the old 1250 would be nice. But 1250 is like that long though. That lens is quite short. I don't think they can make 1250 that small. And 1250 does not really have excellent optics. If they were to shrink it further, they'll have even more compromise, which I don't think will happen. Alright, time check. It is already 11 o'clock. Let me just read a few members' chat, and then we'll start with the photo sharing session, right? Let's just go to the members' chat. Just a few. Ruby says, you jump a comment of mine that you didn't. You get the early 2000 reference. Okay. Andrew says, I really hope Micro Four Thirds stays on. There's rumors Insta360 is coming out with their own Micro Four Thirds camera, but the renders look a bit fishy. I have no trust in Insta360. Even the current products, if they cannot even get the current products right, then maybe they shouldn't make a proper camera. Gregory says, I think a big part of the retro craze among younger people is that retro equipment is usually simpler and straightforward. Are you paying attention? OM Digital Solutions. Any idea that a little gadget to the left of the video button might be? Video button, let me see. Oh, that looks like an on-off switch, right? Isn't that the on-off switch? That could be the on-off switch, right? One of the feedback that a lot of people gave on the Pan F and all the other cameras is that the on-off switch or turn-on button or whatever is always at the wrong place. So I think that could be the right spot for the on-off switch, right? Just a guess, just a guess. Gregory says, I have an EPL8 laying around somewhere. It's chunkier than the 7. I really like the slimness of all the Pan cameras. I also like using single quotation marks. All right, understand, totally understand. Ufi says, a personal stylish request I will have from OM Digital Solutions is if they can make a blue jeans leatherette variant that have an EPL8, they would sell my soul for that one. Mika says, I was a little bummed when it wasn't an OM1 Mark III, but the new Pan is totally a right call. I would rather they get it the OM1 Mark III right, rather than they rush it now and they get all the problems, all the you know, like all the bad feedbacks that we always give them, right? I'd rather that they take some time and get it really right. Gary says, thank you, Woofy. I guess I'm talking to each other, no worries. Okay, I will put a pause to the chat. I'll come back to the chat, don't worry. But I need to start doing my photo sharing. I have to drink some water, not alcohol, water, because it is extremely hot in my room. It's 29 degrees tonight. It's so hot in Malaysia now, and I have to stay hydrated. We had 200 people watching earlier. It's insane. Now it's about 178 people. You guys just come for the camera. You guys are not here for me. Kind of sad, right? Anyway, it was Kuala Lumpur Photography Festival last weekend, and I volunteered myself to shoot some photographs for my friends who were doing presentations. There were 4 friends that went up to do the presentations, and some of them were quite challenging. My friends, Andrew was there for the Kuala Lumpur Photography Festival, and he can actually verify my claims that in some situations, you'll see that I'll tell you in some of the photographs, it was almost completely dark. It was a nightmare. All right, let's look at the photographs now. All right, first up was my friend Azul. It's a group discussion with other photographers. They were talking about making prints, making photo books. Actually, the title of this talk was From Pages to Prints. And there were 4 people, actually 3 photographers doing the sharing and 1 moderator. The moderator was the lady on the left, her name was Maizura, and the 3 speakers were Nazri, Azul, and Maya. So this is on the main stage. The lighting was okay. It wasn't as good as last year. Last year they had like 2 big lights, LED lights. This time there's no additional light. Lighting was okay. It wasn't exceptional, it wasn't great, but it was okay. It was perfectly fine for me to work with, no problem. I shot this with EPL7 with various prime lenses, right? So this was with the kit lens Panasonic 12-32. This was with the 75 1.8. That's Nazri Sulaiman. He's a Sony ambassador. He was talking about the project he did at Terengganu, right? Shooting for the Sultan. So he was commissioned by the royal family to do some documentary at Terengganu. That's one of the states in Malaysia. That's Azul, who is laughing in the middle. He's my friend. The reason I shot this was for him. He's been a fantastic friend. He's done a lot of exhibitions in Malaysia. He's published several books, and I'm very proud to call him my friend. I learned a lot from him, being with him. He's such a generous person. He's a fantastic friend and really a talented photographer. So that's Azul. Azul speaking. As you can see from my photographs, the tip that I always give people is that you have to move. You see that I'm shooting from different perspective, different angle, from this angle, and this angle. I was moving myself. You can't just sit down and expect all the photographs to come out nice. If you have a variety of angle to work with, you have different background, it will make your series of photographs a bit more dramatic, a bit more dynamic, all right? And you have to get close. Obviously, you can't climb the stage. You need a telephoto lens, and here I was using the Olympus 75 1.8. And some people say, oh, you know, like I buy that lens, I never use it, it's on my shelf. I buy my lenses, I use each and every one of them. I don't leave it on the shelf and never touch them. I use them, right? So yeah, that's Maizura, the one focused on all the way on the left. She's the moderator in this panel. And try to get wide angle, not just a close-up, because the audience is important. You can see that here, all the seats are filled. It's very important to show that, hey, there's people listening to this particular presentation. Without the crowd, the presentation is meaningless. Always get an entire shot of everything. The what you call that? The screen itself showing the images, the presenters, the stage, as well as the crowd, everything, and the environment. That's very important for documentary purposes. And go close as you can, right, to the speaker. And when they speak, make sure that the mouth is open, because they are speaking, right? If you're speaking, your mouth cannot be closed. And if there's some gestures and just some action in the mid presentation, they will make things a little bit more energetic. You want that in your photograph as well. Right, like when you're pointing at something, having some hand gestures, that's very, very, very important. Of course, capturing the stage, the screen, and the presenters, that's one of the presentation style. All right, that's Maya. She's from Sabah. She has her own photography project as well. All right, close up of all the presenters. All right, also, as I mentioned, to get good shots, you need to move. So what I did was actually I went upstairs. You can shoot from top down. This is 2 floors up. So having a different perspective can open up different look, different way of looking at these images. This all the way from the top. So you have like a top-down view of this presentation happening, which gives you a very different perspective of this particular presentation, right? So yeah, and this is the final image of this stage event. Azul was showing his book. I'm just going to go through quickly. This is my friend Kiran. He came all the way from Borneo. He's from Kuching, Sarawak, Borneo. So he gave his presentation here. This is a different location. This is not the main stage. This is in a seminar room. It's smaller. Lighting here is not as good as the main stage. Here, it is still manageable during Kiran's presentation. Halfway through his presentation, they turn off all the lights. They just decided to turn off all the lights. So now you can see the light on the front is being turned off so that you can see the projection very clearly. But at the back on the audience, you still see some light, so that's still okay. But there's a little bit of imbalance between the audience and the presenter and the screen at the front. But now it's still okay because there's still some light to work with, so it's not so bad. For this round, this is actually day 3. So just now, during the stage shots, this was day 2. So I was using the EPL7 for these shots, but for the seminar room, I was using my EM1 Mark II with prime lenses and kit lenses as well. This particular shot was with the Panasonic 12-32 kit lens, all right? And this is from another angle. You can see the lights at the back were turned on. So on the audience, it's actually very bright. But from the front, the light was turned off. So on Kieran, the presenter, you don't see any light on him. He's a little bit on the shade, on the shadow. And of course, that's important so that you can see the presentation or the projection clearly. The photographs, you want to see those clearly. Right? Another angle. Again, you have to move. If you just sit down and take photographs, it will not look good. So there is an art of moving without distracting. You only have limited time to move around. And after you get your shots, you have to hide away or not shoot anymore because you don't want to be that annoying person that keeps moving around and you will be very distracting. Everyone will just look at you instead of the presenter. You move a bit to take the photograph. People will understand because you are the photographer and I'm friends with Kieran. So he'll understand that as well, just for a bit. But you cannot do that for the entire presentation. That will be too distracting. That's a no-no, right? So go close. This is obviously the Olympus 75 1.8. Fantastic lens at this time. You still get some spillover lights from the audience side, so no problem whatsoever. But bear in mind the ISO was about 3200. This is ISO 3200 with f1.8. This is also about ISO 3200 with with aperture f1.8. Again, 75 1.8 lens, fantastic lens. You can get really, really close. Now they turn off all the lights. That's Andrew sitting up front, the one in the black shirt with red shoes, black shirt. That's Andrew. Thanks for being there, Andrew. I think my friend Kieran really appreciated that. And to the left is Dr. Haris. Dr. Haris is also a member of this channel. I'm not sure if he's here, but hopefully he watches this later. Dr. Haris, very nice to catch up with you again. So there's Andrew and Dr. Haris. So Andrew can testify, can verify the fact that they actually turned off the light. At this point onward, it was almost total darkness, except the lights coming from the outside and the screen. Other than that, there were no other light sources. Right? It is very, very dim. When you see the presenter going near the screen, trying to point something, quickly grab a shot. If your camera cannot react quick enough, change your camera. This from the back, you can see it's now different. It's totally dark. It's completely dark now. Very, very, very dark. And this is like ISO 6400 and above already, right? And this is ISO 6400. Try to document the interaction between the presenter and the audience. The guy sitting next to Andrew, that's Captain Awesome. Yes, he calls himself Captain Awesome. Don't ask me why. Ask him if you see him, so get some interaction as well. This is Rippy. Unfortunately, my friend Rippy, for the entirety of his presentation, the light was completely off. Rippy is a friend. He's also a member of this chat. All right, it's a member of, it's not this chat, this YouTube channel. So that's Rippy, second session. This is when the light was completely off. The only light coming in was from outside. That's why I see the side light, as well as the presentation screen from the back. So not the best time to shoot photographs, but because I have the Olympus 75 1.8, I still managed to get some usable shots. This is ISO 6400. This is also ISO, no, this is maybe lower, maybe ISO 1600 because I can use slower shutter speeds. You can see his hand started to blur already. Get some wide shots from different angle. Again, you have to move, but man, this is really, really, really tough. Even here, it is actually ISO 6400, 75 1.8. You'll see some noise, but that's to be expected. You can see the light was completely off. It's really, it doesn't look like it's very dark, but it's really, really, really dark. Let me share you a photograph. I forgot to include this photograph, but let me find a photograph of someone using a phone. Give me a moment. Give me a moment, guys. I forgot to include that. To show you how dark it is. To show you how dark it is, right? Give me a moment. Give me a moment to find that photograph. I need to pull it out. Give me a moment. All right, I found it. Okay, let me save it to my computer. Okay. Let me find that photograph. Let me open it for you guys. Windows screen. I hope you guys can see this. Okay. So this is my friend Kieran. You saw that I took some photographs of him, right? This was taken by Dr. Haris with an iPhone, the latest iPhone, if I remember correctly. There you go. You know, people say that, oh, smartphone photography is so amazing these days. You can take photos in low light, right? Sure. Some people even claim, I know some YouTubers, I don't want to name names, those macro four thirds haters, they say, oh, why do you even need macro four thirds? iPhone can take better photos compared to Micro Four Thirds? Yeah, sure, better than Micro Four Thirds, sure. These days, a lot of the smartphone manufacturers just try to push like, oh, nowadays the smartphones, they can do low light photography, they can basically see in the dark. Master of the night or whatever, right? All this, like they can basically do super low light photos. They can take multiple photos together, merge it, and like it performs better than camera. You take camera, you compare with your phone take a better photo. Sure, better photo, sure. Look at that, so awesome. Sorry, doctor, sorry, I just need an example. You get what I mean, right? Why cameras are still relevant, why cameras are still very, very important. I'm sure you understand what I'm trying to say here. Yeah, sure, smartphone, right? So amazing, right? So amazing. So yeah, back to the photo sharing, right? That's Rippy. Just gonna go through some creative shots. These are the moments where you know it's dark. That's the right moment to do some silhouette shots, right? That can be some artistic expression there as well. Enough of Rippy already. And finally, my friend John was John is also a member of this channel. I have a lot of members of this channel presenting. Rippy is a channel, John is a channel, has a channel as well. So John presented. I was talking about his 3D printed products. He's involved in 3D printing and he's created a software for photo uploads for photographers, which is very amazing. During John's session, the light was on. on the audience side, so it was a lot easier to photograph John compared to Rippy. That's why after the session I apologized to Rippy. I said, Rippy, sorry my friend, all the photos from the session will not look very good because it was completely dark. So anyway, this is my friend John Low. He's an amazing photographer. I'm also always very inspired by him. We've spent a lot of time together. We did a lot of photo outings. He has taught me a lot over the years, not just about photography, but a lot of other things in life. Such a great guy, very generous, really kind. And yeah, when you have a smile or a laugh, click your shutter button, right? That's a trick I can share with you. Wide angle shot of the whole room, some really nice facial expression that trying to capture that as well. This is obviously the 75 1.8. This is the kit lens 12 to 32. You can see the light was on the audience and in the front it's quite dark, all right? He's talking about the 3D printed shadow boxes for his cameras. John uses Sony. He's an excellent photographer. Honestly, I don't really care what camera you use. If you are a great guy, I'll hang out with you. I don't care about camera brands. And I hope that none of my friends care about what camera I use, actually. They hang out with me, I hope, because I'm a nice guy, right? There's John talking about his One More Shot product, the SD card holder, which I've also talked about on my channel before, right? Which is an amazing guy and trying to get some creative composition. The guy in the white hair or gray hair is actually a Sony ambassador, Eric. And he's also a friend, a very, very nice guy. I know people from Canon, Sony, Fuji. Azul also works closely with Fuji. I mean, come on. Camera brands are just camera brands. At the end of the day, we all like photography. We all hang out together. We're all friends, right? So there's John trying to compose some creative framing. This is a 45 1.8 Olympus. My favorite lens, I have to use that, 45 1.8. And yeah, that's it for the photos I've taken at the KLPF. At the stage, I was using the EPL7. At the seminar room, because it's a different day, I was using the EM1 Mark II, my main workhorse camera. So I got these shots from my friends. They have shared them all over social media. I hope they like the photographs. I hope you guys enjoyed that short sharing session. Before I get back to the chat and talk about the new OM System pen, right? The pen camera from OM Digital Solutions. Let me drink some water. And some coffee. All right. I will go to the members chat first, yeah? And then I go to the non-members. Okay, where were we? Movie says, I prefer to have an on-off button on the right side because I can lift the camera and turn it on by the time it's to my eye and I don't use my left hand. Sometimes I have a doggy lid on my left. Understand? That's what a lot of people want. The on-off button or switch all the way at the right where it's within the reach of these few fingers as you hold the camera. That's the general feedback. Gregory says, actually, I come for the photographs. I tolerate the gear talk. I have one more set of photographs to share. I have one more set, Gregory. One more. A street photography one. Andrew says, I don't drink as well. Money well saved for another camera or lens. True, or running gear, right? Because you run. Andrew says, I'm wearing orange sandals. Yes, the lighting screwed up the color of my sandals too. It's extreme low light, like super extreme. To have those colors intact, it was actually a miracle already, right? It means that the camera is actually doing a very good job already. Gregor says, I really like his pictures. Yeah, you mean John Lowe, right? Kieran, yes, Kieran, Kieron, Kieran, yeah. All right. Gary says, still Jesse's photos from a top of Merdeka 118 with an iPhone 17 Pro had things, people shaped things visible on the ground. They were not visible to the naked eye. Yeah. I'm not saying that iPhone is bad. I'm not saying that smartphone is bad, right? I use smartphone as well. I think there's a place for smartphone. But for people to say that, oh, there's no point for micro four thirds camera because iPhone can take better photos than micro four thirds, I just proved my point earlier. Yeah. Wolfie says, Robin, you have more friends than I could ever dream or hope to have. No, that's not true. Hey, I am lucky that they chose me as a friend. Because if you have met them, you realize I realized that there is a huge gap between my photography skills and them. Like my friend John Lowe, what he can do with his camera, my goodness, he is a genius. I still have a lot to learn. I know a lot of you think that I'm very good with my photography, but if you look at my photographs, they are very normal. Like very, very normal stuff. I don't do like crazy high-end photography. Yeah. Luffy says, thanks for sharing your pictures and experience for me. No worries. That's why I try to do as much as I can here on this channel, not just through this live stream, but through my normal long-form videos as well. Okay, let's get to the non-members chat. We are a little bit behind. Jury says it looks like a nice size. It is, right? Finally, a camera that's not too chunky. Yeah, Sandik says, hope this new pen camera will be hotcakes and compete against X100 and SM5 from Fuji. I'm not so keen on the SM5 because it doesn't have image stabilization. I'm more keen on the XE5, which I think is an excellent camera, right? It has everything, a viewfinder and an electronic viewfinder, and 5-stage image stabilization. Optics says, I think if Olympus released a kit lens and a new 20mm lens in like a combo bundle would be amazing. A new 20mm lens? I don't think there's any room for a new 20mm lens, right? Enzio says, I feel like the new model is designed for video content if you look at the new releases on the market, but that's just a subjective opinion. Knowing OM Digital Solutions, I don't think video will be the priority for them. Just my speculation. I'll be happy if they make this a vlogging camera. I'll be perfectly happy. But I feel that that's not their forte. It's not their strength. So at this moment, they have to be very careful. If they continue to lose market share, then yeah, they'll be in trouble. So yeah. Linda says, I'm cautiously optimistic. Looks like a nice, smaller camera. It is, right? It is, right? And it seems, I'm also very hopeful. I'm very hopeful. Marcus says, is it too much to wish for a decent animal detection? Was the bird detection not good enough in the OIM one? I thought it was quite good. I have the OIM one, and whenever I shoot birds with it, I thought it worked very well. I thought it was one of the stronger features from OIM Digital Solutions, right? Big Mons says, if it has the OIM 5 Mark II guts and it's priced between EP7 and OIM 5 Mark II, it will be a hit. Hopefully it is, right? Hopefully it is, yeah. And it can't be too expensive at this point because they are just killing themselves and shooting themselves in the foot, right? Jury says, Nikon has been quiet recently. The firmware of the ZR is taking a long time. Yeah, ZR, as much as it's a great camera, it's not, I don't think it's a massive hit. I don't think it's a massive success. It's not a failure, don't get me wrong, but it's not like the camera that can carry the company. Yeah. Linda says, well, let's not cuss them out before we even know. I agree, Linda, I agree. And so far from what we see from the teaser, I mean, come on, it's not too bad, right? It's not too bad. Like, let's get back to the camera. Oh, camera is a bit too far now. It's a bit too far. We have a super chat. Thank you so much. I believe it is the great Vanzini. Thank you so much for the super chat. Congratulations on 100,000 subscribers. And yes, go OM Digital Solutions. Thanks for the support, great Vanzini. I appreciate that. Yep. Ollie Hansen says composition detection will be something. You mean auto composition? Wow, but it will refuse to fire the shutter most of the time then. My goodness, that is really something. Linda says, I mean, electronic viewfinder has to be better than that of the GX7, GX85. I have not seen a bad electronic viewfinder from Olympus or OM Digital Solutions. I've always enjoyed, even my EMR Mark II, right, from 10 years ago, I still use it as my main electronic viewfinder. So I don't think it's bad, but I also acknowledge that it is 2026. We need something of a higher resolution, right? We can't just be stuck with the same panel from 10 years ago, right? Like, I also see that as a valid point. So yeah. Hey Kid says probably going to be 1800. Wow, that's close to OM3's price, or even more expensive than the Panasonic L10. No, I want it to be cheaper. I want it to be cheaper. Linda says, and that's a win in my books. Oh, thank you so much. Data, let me see. Yeah, that's definitely a win. Definitely. Yeah, Lot Mom says, but the internal flash is good for certain. Nothing I've seen from the internal flash is good. Nothing. I like none of them. But then again, that's my personal subjective opinion. If you like those harsh, ugly, direct flash look, then go for it. If you like it, who am I to say, right? You're entitled to your preferences. Ollie Hansen says, internal flash can trigger other flashes. I have used that option a few times, but a tiny flash mount can also be used for that purpose. Yeah. I don't think it's a deal breaker, flash. I don't think so. B. Carty says, hi Robin, in your opinion, what would be the ideal price for the new pan camera? I would say $1,200 US. And then again, we have to see what the internals are, right? If it's gonna be from OM1, OM3, I don't think they're gonna sell it at $1,200 US. So $1,200 US, maybe with the older internals, maybe some upgrades. I don't know. Lot Mom says the spoiler image shows a rangefinder electronic viewfinder. I don't think this will be a super entry level. Yeah, I know, right? I don't think it's going to be entry level. And I guess the telltale or the giveaway that this is not entry level is the dual dial. Dual dial, right? Entry level cameras don't have dual dials. They normally have only single dial. So yeah. Sunday says Panasonic just did a lens refresh today. They probably have another Micro Four Thirds revival. What pens refresh? Did I miss any news? Let me check the rumor site. Lens refresh. Did Panasonic refresh any lenses? I don't see anything from Panasonic. Ah, okay, I missed this. A new updated version of the Micro Four Thirds lens was August 28. 1260. All the lenses that were discontinued will have new lenses. Okay, I missed that. Sorry about that. Sunny says, I'm also hoping other upcoming China camera brands. Nah, I don't know. Like, when I look at DJI and I look at Insta360 and look at the products, yeah, no man, no. Linda says, if they can stay under 400 grams, I'll be happy and have to sell a kidney to get. No, Linda, please keep your kidney. Don't do that. No. But yeah, I also wish the camera to be light, right? Yeah, a tiny bit of animal autofocus for one's pet would be nice. An animal like cat and dog animal detection, right? That would be great. Yeah. Photography says, funny how your live has more people tune in than the official OM live streams. To them low enough, but this new pan seems to be them actually listening to their customers, now the sealed pancakes. Thanks for the remark, photography, but I don't think that's a fair comparison to the OM Digital Solutions. I have been here for a long time, and the reason I have a lot of people is not me, it's you guys. So I have you guys to thank for. And it's not fair because a lot of the ambassadors or the photographers that OM Digital Solutions are working with, they are either up and coming or they are newly hired as ambassadors. And in the beginning, I don't have this many audience. I don't have all of you here in the beginning. I also start from zero. And a lot of these ambassadors, they start from zero. So we also have to give them a chance, because if we don't, then they'll never grow. You get what I mean? So it's not fair to compare to me or Jimmy Chang or Micro Four Nerds or, like a lot of us YouTubers like Peter Forsgard, Matti Solanto, a lot of us like Rob Track. We've been here for a long time. We've been doing this for a long time. And a lot of these people coming in that OM Digital Solutions are working with, they are quite new. not as photographers, maybe they are experienced as photographers, but as ambassadors or doing like YouTube or live stream, they are new. And if we don't support them, they will not go anywhere. You get what I mean? I appreciate that, the very kind remark from you, photography, but we also have to remind ourselves that everyone starts somewhere. And it is also up to us to uplift them, because if we don't, Micro Four Thirds is not going to go anywhere, right? That's why I was also very supportive of some OM system ambassadors like Emily Taupin. I pushed her to get 10,000 subscribers. We are great friends now. I think she's doing a fantastic job. You know, like there are like Jimmy Chang, such a fantastic guy as well. Also OM system ambassadors. Like if we don't support them, they're not going to go anywhere. So yeah. I like Pixel says, love your channel, mate. Thank you so much, especially your photography skills. I secretly just want a new Pentax Q. Thank you so much for the kind words. And I have the original Pentax Q. I think it's a fantastic little camera. Let's get to the members chat. I promise to reply to members chat first, right? Let's get to members chat. Gregory says, link to Kieran's work. Okay, I'll do that. No worries. Give me a moment. I'll share his Instagram. Okay. Here it is. Kieran's IG. So Gregory, here is the link on my latest chat. I'll put it there. All right. There you go. Gregory says, Jessie is like you. She can take great pictures with whatever she has to hand. Probably even a coffee with a pinot. Yeah, you can encourage her to pick up photography and maybe explore more. That would be great. Falling behind, welcome to the stratosphere of 100k subscribers. Aw, thank you so much. Wolfie says, Fuji X E5 is such a gorgeous little camera. I know, right? Peter Forsgard has one. I've seen him in action with the camera. Wolfie says, the subject detection on OM1 is really good, but the autofocus, the continuous autofocus tracking is the weak spot. Hopefully they can improve that, right? Hopefully they do. Andrew says, I wouldn't mind an internal flash, but I'll understand if the new pen doesn't have it. External flashes come in all shapes and sizes. I know, right? And it's not expensive these days, the flash. Ruby says, Panasonic re-released the 1260, 42.5 and 25 1.4 with fluorine coating on the front element. Didn't Canon just make a move to try not to use fluorine in the coating? Apparently fluorine is bad for the environment, right? Isn't that? I don't know. I don't know. So announcing new lenses with fluorine coating may not be the best decision, right? I don't know. Gregory says, I never used the built-in flash on the GM1 except to push it back in when it pops out. Really? Yours does that. Mine never come out unintentionally. I'm glad they replaced it with the electronic viewfinder. Yes. I mean, if you have to choose between the flash and the electronic viewfinder all the way, right? Yeah. Definitely. There is nothing new about them. This is part of the reason why I got so annoyed by Panasonic that they discontinued them without telling the users they will come up with a new one to update them. You understand? I wish the GM1's flash had a lock to keep it shut. Mine never came out unexpectedly. What happened to yours? Andrew says, we're talking about selling livers and kidneys too. No. Let's not do that. Let's keep this channel safe, yeah? I need my monetization and I need my YouTube to be alive. Wolfie says it's similar to not releasing an updated lens roadmap, no updates for future models of cameras from Panasonic and OM Digital Solutions, staying quiet for a long time and being vague in statements. Well, hopefully in conjunction with the product launch on September 9th, OM Digital Solutions will have some updates on their future plans. That's the time to get everyone's attention, right? Hopefully we'll have some news from them. We'll see. Oops, I skipped ahead, sorry. I'll come back to this, Wolfie. Gregory says, nonsense. The channel has subscribers because people value the content and feel a connection with the creator. It's a three-legged stool, content, creator, and audience. You're very, very kind, Gregory. Really appreciate that. Wolfie says, I got another little soul into photography recently. I'm teaching him as much as I can. For starters, I got him started with a Nikon 1J1, fantastic camera. I just used it recently for a shoot. Until he get used to the basics and he wants to explore more. Then I'll advise him to get into Micro Four Thirds because of the price, accessibility, and performance. That's an excellent choice. Wolfie says, I saw that article as well, Robin, about Canon looking for alternatives to fluorine. It's very interesting, educational. Yeah, it's quite bad for the environment. About, I don't know. I don't remember all the details, but I know that it's bad. Okay, let's get to the non-members chat. Lot Mum says, my baby is an EM5 Mark II. None of the OM cameras have been compelling to me until this one. If they release a camera that is smaller, lighter, totally understand. Yeah, we need a small and light camera, right? I understand, but even at $700 US, I could be convinced for the update. All right. Arrow says, I think we will see a flagship next year. Hopefully a bit more megapixels. Yeah, definitely more than 20, right? 25 will be a good number as well. Well, I hope it's a bit higher. We'll see. Yumi says, a weather sealed pan with the EM1 Mark II sensor and USB-C. Take my money. We'll see. Photography says, the only two things I personally would have, like the tilt screen, not the flip screen, and pop-out flash, especially since the OM5 Mark II discontinued the support for the FLM3. But the thing about FLM3 is that it can swivel and tilt and it's weather sealed. If I were to use the FLM3, I'm not going to fire direct, right? So the pop-out flash will not be very useful if you ask me. Just my personal opinion. Linda says, if Panasonic comes up with a new 20mm pancake with fast autofocus, I'll forgive them for everything. Oh, that's, yeah, I would love one. I'll buy one in an instant. And Trill says, hey Robin, hello. Hey Entry, how are you? Very good to see you here. Sunny says, I want the new kit lens with internal zoom and weather sealing. Is there a new kit lens? Really? Lens and teaser looks like 70mm Mark II. Okay. I think it's an on-off switch unless it has a 1 or 2 selector. Yeah, it looks like an on-off switch, right? Yeah. Yes, no electronic viewfinder, no buy. Agree with you, John. Red says, oh man, I missed the stream by an hour. No worries. Just glad that you're here. How are you doing, Red? Nice to see you here. Red also has a channel on Micro Four Thirds. Let me just bring up his channel. Red Thompson. If I can find the channel. Everything is so messy now. Yes, here it is. Oh, congratulations on hitting 10,000 subscribers, Red. Whoa, way to go. Oh, congratulations. So this is Red's channel. His latest videos include vintage vibes using 51.4 per gear. He also talked about I remember he has a video on the Lumix Panasonic, was it the GM5? And then he also has a video on the L10. Amazing guy. Let me just put Red's amazing YouTube. So guys, go support him. He has just hit 10,000 subscribers. Give him some love. So this is Red's YouTube channel. Please go and subscribe, right? If you have not, and check out his amazing channel. Right, and yeah, Santic says, I hope they take enough time to make the OM1 Mark III perfect rather than rushing it. Yes, that's what I want as well, and I really hope that they get it right this time. No more screwing around, right? Lorenzo says, amazing photo capturing the expressions. Thank you so much, I appreciate that. Linda says, congratulations, exactly 100,000 too. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Well, the YouTube just round out the number. It is already past 100,000 since 2 weeks ago, one day after a previous live stream. Yeah. And previous live stream was exactly 2 weeks ago. GMT Photography says, congrats on the 100,000. Thank you so much. Great images. Love event photography. Thank you so much for the kind words. John says, a small pen with an electronic viewfinder. Where's my credit card? I know, right? I know. I'm going to buy one as well. Linda says, no alcohol here as well. Yes. Here is to the no alcohol club. Let's drink to that with the coffee. Great Vanzini says, good point. Not too much moving around. All right. Linda says, EM10 Mark IV has an electronic viewfinder. It's far under 1,000 euros here. Of course, it's a bit older now. Yeah, I think with the inflation, with the AI going on, with the RAM shortage and everything, I don't think it's easy to make the price below 1,000 US dollars. I don't think so. Dieter says, I expect OM3 tag. All right, the internals, right, in the pen body. Major breakthrough in the OM1 Mark III later. All right, we'll see what happens. Renzo says, how you get not moving face, but some more blur on the hand. Just keep shooting. Just keep clicking. Just keep clicking, right? Some parts, sometimes they'll move their hand, sometimes they'll move their head. They rarely move everything together, right? So just keep clicking, like maybe out of 10 shots, you get like 4 or 5 clear shots. Yeah. Linda says it will be exactly like the EPL 10, but with a USB-C port. We'll see. No, it has an electronic viewfinder, right? Yeah, EPL 10 doesn't have a built-in electronic viewfinder. Greg Vanzini says, great shots, tells the story. Thank you so much for the kind words, appreciate that. John says, no Robin, you won't get a pre-production to test. OM is very careful to just let the ambassadors review those units. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm getting into pre-production, I'm saying that getting it after the launch. There will be a plethora of glowing ambassador reviews. Ivan says, viewfinder, yes. Viewfinder, yes. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name. Can I say hi to you when I run you into chaos? Sure, hit me up. Great Vanzini Photo says, internal flash is for emergency use only. Even in like those super low light situations, like I'll just scroll back a little bit. Like these situations, this is like almost pitch dark. I'd rather not use flash because flash will just kill the mood. Right? Just bump up the high ISO, right? All these situations, no flash. Like you see this like really dark, I'd rather not have flash. Yeah, this is not that dark. This is fine. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, the cat is waiting. I have another set of photos to share. This side towards screen says 1700 closer to 1500 USD. All right. We'll see. Nick says, will OM system put the same internals of the OM5 Mark II in this new camera? Yeah, that's what I was saying, right? Like whether it's the OM5 Mark II or OM3, OM1, we don't know. Like, either one, right? It's interesting to see what will happen. Alpine Breed says, do you think the pan will be weather sealed? I hope so. I want it to be. I feel like it will be appropriate if not necessary with the street style camera. I mean, why not? It's one of the core strengths of Micro Four Thirds. If they can make it weather sealed, it's going to be a key selling point, right? Yeah. Draco Denti says, hello, I'm just getting into photography and your videos are super informative and engaging. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here, Draco Denti. Appreciate you checking out my videos. The Great Vanzini says, all my top subscriptions are Micro Four Thirds people, even though I shoot at PSC and other kit at other times. Yeah, Micro Four Thirds is a fantastic crowd. Photography says, thanks for your response and completely agree on uplifting the new guys. I mean more on the OM System channel where they make some live Q&A, which are actually great, but few people tune in. Thank you so much. Andrew says, if the new pan pricing is good, L10 can really move aside. Uvi says, not all countries and regions treat PFAS risks from fluorine coating. US is the worst one in terms of protecting people from PFAS because they value corporate profits and protection more than people. But then again, the camera companies are from Japan, right? They're not American companies, so they could do better. Andrew says, Panasonic better introduce continuous autofocus up to the 20mm if they ever make the Micro Four Thirds, right? Or Mark III. All will be forgiven. Andrew says, I don't drink alcohol, not even beer. Cheers to coffee. Cheers to coffee. Wolfie says, Robin, if OM Digital Solutions comes out with the Wolfile update on OM1 Mark III, will you move from your EM1 Mark II? Yes, of course. Or will you hold on to it until the EM1 Mark II kicks the bucket? Of course. If it is good enough, of course, I'll definitely replace it. Yeah. All right, I'll put a pause to the chat here. And I want to have one more series of photographs to share. And I want to drink some water first because I'm really thirsty and it's so hot here in Malaysia. One more set of photographs to share. And let's get there. These photographs were taken with... EPL 7, if I'm not wrong. Yes, EPL 7 with 25 1.8. So next Thursday, what video am I publishing on Monday? Oh, Monday I'm publishing a 75-300 video again. So I actually went to do something with the 75-300, so that's Monday. On Thursday, I'm publishing a street photography video. It's going to be a POV video where I went to Pudu, Kuala Lumpur, together with my friends Azul, Rippy is a channel member here, and Peter Forsgaard, which means this video was taken like 4 months ago. Yeah, so you'll see Peter Forsgard in that video. So surprise! I still have some old videos I haven't published and street photography videos. So I went to Purdue. I interviewed them, asking them some questions about street photography, and these are the photographs that I've taken, right? With the EPL7 and 25 1.8. Right, of course, shooting through a gap. This is what we call a loose term during my time as an engineer, the construction rubbish, all the rubbles and all the things that we want to throw away, we just pile in one spot. This is what we call construction rubbish. And it's nice to see like there's a cat there sitting at the top. So I shoot through a gap, a hole, just for like some creative, some crazy, fun framing effect for this shot. So yeah, there you go, a cat through the hole. It's my opening shot. And there's this lady, very fun lady at the shop, very old looking shop. Actually well kept, actually very tidy, very well kept, very neat and clean. It's an old style wooden coffee shop. It's a very typical scene in Kuala Lumpur, but it's slowly going away for a more modernized hipster cafe look. This very old style coffee shop. I just want to take like an environmental portrait of this lady. You'll see all this in action. I have my POV video shooting what happened around me moments before I click my shutter button to show how I frame my shots in that video. So you'll see this next Thursday. Right, I like these layers, the layers of these buildings in front, behind the blue sky, matching the Merdeka 118 building, which is currently the second tallest building in the world. Yeah, I just love layers, 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 and layers. Right, and this lady was actually talking to my friend Azul from the front. I'm shooting from the side, so Azul was shooting it from the front. So I was actually just shooting a candid shot of her, but we got permission to shoot her. Fun fact, she has twin brothers, which back then, like more than 10 years ago, they were still like kids. And I did take photos of them with the permission of the parents. But yeah, this is the sister, an elder sister, which is fantastic. So I just have there's a gap opening between the plastic bag and the metal pole and the metal gate. Not gate. Yeah, it's a gate and a pole and everything. It's like just a nice opening, a gap for her, shooting through that as a framing. So yeah. Close-up portrait, of course. I love portraits of strangers. Who doesn't like that? This guy, he actually requested for my photograph, so I actually did send him the photograph as well after I've taken his shot. His name is Rahman. Very nice guy. Some scenes at a coffee shop, a very typical scene. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in the frame, which is nice from front to the back. I like the layers of it as well, which is pretty cool. And the gesture of the guy putting the hand over the head, this just makes the shot more interesting. So yeah, layers. And action of the lady cooking at the shop, which is fantastic. I like to take things happening with an action. So she's pouring, I believe, the cornstarch, like thickening agent into the vegetable that she's cooking, right? Which is very nice. I'm sure it tastes fantastic as well, right? Also, like this very typical street style where you just cover a person partially with something else. You don't show like the face, the body, or some parts of the body is hidden. So this is at Purdue Market, which is one of my favorite places for street photography. And yeah, portrait of a stranger again, which I like to do. And this is of course the excellent Olympus 25 f1.8, which is fantastic. Right, another portrait which I love. You see how I approach them, how I get close to them, and how they are very happy to have their portraits taken in my coming video this coming Thursday. Right, and a funny scene, a lady petting her pet chicken, which, well, we all know that it's a market. What's going to happen to the chicken and the ducks and the goose? They will all be slaughtered soon. Kind of morbid, right? Like she's petting it like a pet, you know, like, oh, don't worry, I love you and I'll kill you, I'll eat you. So anyway, those are the shots, just a few shots that I'm sharing for a short series of street photographs taken with the EPL7 and 25 1.8. I hope you guys have enjoyed them. All these photographs will be shared next week on Thursday, my POV video, where I also feature my friends Azul, Rippy, and Peter Forsgard. Why did I not remember the name? The name just slipped my mind. Yeah, and Peter Forsgard. Hope you guys enjoyed this series of photographs. Let's come back to the OM System pen. All right, let's I'll go to all the remaining chat, and then we'll call it a night, right? Let me drink more water and some coffee, and I'll get to the chat, right? Do we have coffee left? We have a few drips of coffee left. All right. Let's get to members chat first. Okay. Wolfie says, but the most capital comes from North America before Europe or Asia. Unfortunately, Europe is the most stringent against PFAS. Yeah, hopefully the Japanese companies will do something about that and not use the fluorine or find an alternative for fluorine, right? Gary says, I'll buy a print of that cat shot. Oh, you're too kind. You know what? What I can do, because you've been so generous, right? You've been donating so much. I can send you the photograph. You can just print it yourself, right? You can do that, right? I don't think it's that expensive to print. I can just send you the photograph. I'll do that if I remember. If I don't remember, you can... Come on, you have my number, Gregory. just send me a remember. I'll send you the full resolution. You can just do it on print. Wolfie says, excellent framing, Robin. I love it so much. Thank you so much. Thanks for the kind words, Wolfie. I appreciate that. Wolfie says, so much red of the coffee shop. I love the red text in the background. Yeah. That's the thing about Malaysia, right? I realized that it's a privilege to be here because we have so many colors. Like bright, bold, very lively, incredibly, like really in your face kind of colors. And I realized that you don't get that in a lot of like European countries or even in America, right? So which is really, really strange. Good luck, little buddy. He says, excellent images, Robin. Thank you for sharing. No worries. My pleasure to share. My pleasure to share. Let's get to non-members chat. B. Carty says, a bit off topic. Any advice for people who are going to be the first time event photographer in terms of shooting an event with or without flash? I actually shoot with prime lenses, so I wouldn't recommend you using prime lens from the start. The reason why I use prime lens is because I shoot in a lot of low light situations, as you have seen, and f1.8 versus f4 makes a big difference. But I did a video on event photography before. I'll dig out the video and share with you in a little bit. Basically, move. If you're allowed to move, move, right? From not just go near, but from far. Shoot a wide scene, go near, go as close as you can with a zoom lens or 75 f1.8, whatever long lens that you have. Shoot from the side, shoot from the top, shoot from far, shoot from the audience, shoot everywhere. And don't forget the crowd or audience because they also make the shot. Capture the expressions as they respond, capture the interaction with the presenter or the singer or the dancer or whatever, right? Capture the overall scene to establish the location. Don't forget that. And go close. The best advice I can give is to move. Don't stay at one spot because that's the mistake I see a lot of people do. They just stay at one spot and hope to get good shots. No, you still have to move a lot. Now I think I have made a video to talk about event photography. Let me just pull out the video. Give me a moment. If my internet will load. Let's see. No, I don't. I've talked about it on my live streams before, but I don't think I have. Okay, how about a festival? Okay, I know this is a live stream. It may be a little bit long. All right, or a mini concert. I think mini concert works as well. Okay, give me a moment, yeah? Concert or stage photography. I remember I did something. No, I don't. I think it's still the festival live stream. Okay, let me just share this. I know it's a live stream, it's very long, but if you have time to stick through it, that will be quite useful for you. All right, shooting mini festival. All right. So this is the particular link to that live stream. This is my largest job I've ever done. All right. I hope that will be useful for you. All right. For Tom says, since you're reading this, also want to say you've been a great help and influence in my photography. Oh, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I share as much as I can, and I encourage people to shoot because I enjoy photography so much. I just want everyone to feel the same. I will continue to do so. I'm not going anywhere. Yes, I've still have a lot of things to learn myself, and I'm sure I have a lot of things to say. So yeah, I hope you'll be here with me. You'll stay with me as I continue on this journey. Right. The Great Vanzini says, yes, I don't watch reviews until 3 or 4 weeks out. 3 or 4 weeks, really? Wow. All right. 6 Sambora says, I'm a Fuji Sony user. Why is this new OM camera similar to the Fuji or Sony ecosystem? It is not similar to Fuji or ecosystem. It is Olympus or OM System's own ecosystem, their own camera. It is a Micro Four Thirds ecosystem, right? What exactly it is, I can't tell you yet because it is not officially launched. It is only been teased, and based on what we know, it is a pen style camera, and pen is an Olympus heritage. It belongs to Olympus. Renzo says, love the cat. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I love the cat too. The Great Vasini says, really love your environmental street shots. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And I love to do a lot of environmental shots as well. Randall says, aesthetic equivalent. All right. You guys are talking to each other. No worries. Red Vanzini says, so much great color in Malaysia. Yeah, I'm not taking that for granted. So, as much as I like to do black and white, yes, I do a lot of black and white photography as well. I also love to do my color. I can't give up on my color. Ruby says, I would love to have a picture made by Robin framed and signed among my pictures. I don't think my signature will be worth that much. Oh my goodness. Like, I know you see me as someone like really up there, but to be honest, I'm just a normal guy like you, Wolfie. I'm like everyone else. I'm no better than you or anyone else. I may be a little bit too crazy or too obsessed with photography. But that's it, right? I'm a little bit more addicted to it than anyone else. Than most people, but other than that, I'm just a normal guy, and my photographs are just very, very normal, right? So yeah, if he says, I'm so jealous of your colors in your country. It's a dream to make images there. Yeah, please do come here, and we'll love to meet you. We'll love to meet you one day. Andrew says, oh, by the way, Robin, I told you the other day I had a camera on hold. This way I ended up with the Sony A7C Mark II and 2 Zeiss lenses, and a surprise, Fuji S100S. All the things I do for shuttle therapy. Enjoy your A7C Mark II. That's the gateway to high resolution shots, 60 something megapixels, right? 62 or 65, I don't know. So yeah, that will be something that currently Micro Four Thirds cannot do. Yeah, no worries. It's we're almost off hours already. We're on our remaining final few minutes. I'll just read as many comments as I can as they come in. Yeah, and then we'll close the session. Yep. You guys are talking to each other, no worries. Yep. Yeah. Gregory says, I shared a lot of your event photography content with Jessie, who works a lot of concerts and events as her second job, and it's really good. Maybe a video on events is overdue, all in one place. Alright, I can do that. Event photography is well, these days I do more events than weddings and portraits. Yeah, sure, I can do that. Thanks for the suggestion, Gregory. No worries. Warren says, you're going a bit overboard here, Wolfie. It's worth the whole world. Yeah. It's just for me to cherish our friendship a little bit. Oh, you're too kind. Andrew says, S7C is, it's not the CR. Okay, it's on a CR. Wait, I thought the CR is 62, right? Sorry, I was wrong. S7CR. Resolution. I thought it's 62, right? 61 megapixels, not 42, man. It's 61 megapixels. That's crazy. Alright, I've actually caught up with the chat. Surprise! And we still have 110 people watching. Surprise. Did I miss anything? Let me just scroll up just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Surprise, surprise. If you guys still have anything to ask me, I'm here for a little bit longer. If not, then I can close the session. I'll just wait for a bit. And while I wait for the chat to pour in, let me just drink more water. Yeah. Yeah, I thought you got an S7CR. I thought you got an S7CR with a crazy resolution. Yeah. I don't know why I thought that. So yeah. Thanks, Randall. I appreciate that. Great stream, Robin. Have a great week, everyone. Cheers. All right. I guess if there are no more chats, let's just end it here. All right. End it on a high note. We still have more than 100 people watching. Yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed the conversation about our speculations on the coming pen camera that is teased by OM Digital Solutions. I really hope that this will be a massive hit for the company. I think they need a win to recover the lost market share for last year. And I do have high hopes for this camera. If it's I still have to wait for the price and as well as the specifications. If it's good, I might even buy one myself or two. Who knows? And yeah, I guess by the next live stream, is it launched already? Next live stream is going to be 2 weeks from now, right? 27. Oh, so we can talk about the product in the next live stream, right? It's going to be launched on 9. Our next live stream is going to be the 10th, so it'll be amazing. Okay, let me just go to a few more chat since you're here. I just say, it's okay, Robin. Most people get the S7C, S7R confused, even myself. He says, my prayers for an autofocus fisheye prime has been answered by the Chinese manufacturers. Yes, tomorrow is members only live chat. Yeah, can't wait to see you guys. Nice to see you here, Van. Appreciate that. Received a drink more water lecture from my nephrologist recently. Drink more water, yes. It's so hot here in Malaysia. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Thanks, Greg Vanzini, for being here. Great stream. Thanks for checking my bank card. Got a GM1. Wow, congratulations. That's a great combo. All right. I'll see you guys in the next live stream. Take care and please go out and take more photographs. Bye-bye.